The dishwasher is still warm. A mug sits half-rinsed in the sink. Someone just got sick upstairs and everyone suddenly trusts the sanitizer pump. You press once, rub quickly, and feel responsible. But with norovirus, that familiar little ritual may leave the most important job unfinished. This is not about panic. It is about knowing where the virus actually travels. Hands, bathroom surfaces, towels, food, and shared handles. CDC describes norovirus as the leading cause of vomiting, diarrhea, and foodborne illness in the United States. The catch is simple. Norovirus is built differently from many germs we think about during cold season, so the usual shortcut can disappoint. CDC says hand sanitizer alone does not work well against norovirus. Washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds is preferred. So consider sanitizer the backup singer, not the lead. After the bathroom, cleanup, or food prep, soap and running water carry the chorus. Follow the virus for a moment. One hand touches a flush lever, then a towel, then the fridge door, then a bunch of grapes. CDC says norovirus spreads through tiny amounts of vomit or feces, contaminated surfaces, contaminated food, and close contact with someone infected. That is why the bathroom matters, not because it looks dirty, but because invisible residue can move faster than anyone expects. CDC notes norovirus can spread easily and quickly, especially in places where people share rooms, meals, bathrooms, or close contact. Pause. The unsettling part is this. The food may look perfect. The countertop may shine. The risk can still be sitting there. The first protocol is boring, which is good. Wash hands slowly, with friction, under running water, especially before touching anything someone else eats. Use soap on palms, backs of hands, between fingers, and undernails. A quick rinse is not the same as a real wash. CDC says people can shed norovirus before they feel sick, and for 2 weeks or more after they feel better. That does not mean you live like a hazard sign for 2 weeks. It means the first few days after symptoms stop deserve respect. If you have been sick, one approach is to step away from cooking for others, even when your appetite and energy return. CDC recommends waiting at least 48 hours after symptoms stop before preparing food, handling food, or caring for others. If you are usually the cook, delegate. Toast, soup, delivery, frozen rice, and pre-washed fruit can help the household bridge that window. CDC lists diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, and stomach pain as common norovirus symptoms, sometimes with fever, headache, or body aches. The timing matters because people often feel better fast. The household may relax exactly when the virus still has a chance to travel. For cleanup, start with removal, then disinfection. Wiping around visible vomit or stool just spreads the problem across a larger surface. CDC recommends disinfecting contaminated surfaces with a chlorine bleach solution or an EPA-registered product effective against norovirus. Follow the product's contact time. That wet pause is part of the work, not wasted time. Rushing it may leave virus behind. Panic cleaning is frantic. Protocol cleaning is calmer. You clean the mess, disinfect the zone, wash the laundry, then wash your hands. Treat the sick bathroom like a temporary high-touch zone, faucet, flush handle, doorknob, light switch, counter edge, and nearby floor. CDC warns that food contaminated with norovirus may look, smell, or taste normal, which makes prevention more important than inspection. When cooking, separate raw foods from ready-to-eat foods, wash produce, and keep recently sick hands away from shared snacks. CDC advises cooking oysters and other shellfish thoroughly, because norovirus can spread through contaminated shellfish harvested from affected waters. Travel adds friction. Shared bathrooms, buffet tongs, rental kitchens, and tired kids make perfect conditions for forgetting the basics. Pack a soap plan, not just sanitizer. A small travel soap sheet or bar can matter when a sink exists, but supplies do not. From August 2025 to May 2026, Norostat participating states reported 1,194 norovirus outbreaks according to CDC's May update. Those numbers do not prove your trip is risky. They show reported activity, and they remind us that ordinary seasons still deserve habits. On a trip, wash before eating, after bathroom stops, after helping a sick child, and before unpacking food into a shared fridge. If this kind of practical health science helps you, consider liking and subscribing. It tells us to keep making calm, useful episodes. CDC says norovirus outbreaks often happen in settings where people gather closely, including restaurants, catered events, schools, childcare, and long-term care. None of this asks you to fear people. It asks you to respect the root. Hands to surfaces, surfaces to food, food to someone else. For towels, assign a sick person their own. If possible, use paper towels for hand drying until the household is stable. CDC recommends washing contaminated clothes and linens with detergent and hot water on the longest cycle, then machine drying on high heat. Carry linens away from your body. Avoid shaking them. Then wash your hands again, because laundry can be a transfer point. Norovirus is humbling because it rewards tiny lapses, but it also responds to small, repeatable barriers stacked in the right order. After diarrhea or vomiting, close the toilet lid if there is one. Clean nearby surfaces, and wash hands before touching anything else. CDC advises immediately cleaning and disinfecting areas contaminated by vomit or diarrhea, using protective steps and appropriate disinfectant. Protect the cleaner. Consider disposable gloves, good ventilation, and a trash bag ready before you start, so cleanup stays controlled. Then widen the circle. The splash zone is not always obvious. Think nearby floor, cabinet faces, hamper edges, and door frames. Switch shared snacks to single portions for a few days. A bowl of chips can become a hand-to-mouth highway. CDC says infected people can shed billions of norovirus particles, and only a very small amount can make someone sick. Softly. This is not about blame. Most spread happens through normal care. Helping a child, washing sheets, making toast, touching a doorknob. Create a recovery station, water, easy food, a dedicated towel, tissues, and a lined bin, kept separate from shared prep areas. If kids are sick, simplify the rules. 1 bathroom if possible. 1 towel. 1 adult cleaner. Lots of hand washing after every assist. CDC notes people can get norovirus many times in their lives because there are many types of the virus. That is why past experience is not a shield. The better shield is behavior. Wash, separate, disinfect, launder, pause food prep. For shared snacks, use serving spoons and small plates. Better yet, let one well-person portion food with freshly washed hands. At buffets or potlucks, consider washing before eating and again after serving. It is a small pause with a big practical upside. CDC identifies norovirus as a major cause of foodborne illness, which is why sick food handlers can drive outbreaks. For winter gatherings, the goal is not perfect control. It is lowering the odds at the moments where spread is easiest. Before guests arrive, put soap by every sink, fresh hand towels out, and a simple plan for anyone who feels suddenly ill. If you host after sickness, consider delaying food prep duties. People understand a postponed casserole is easier than a household outbreak. CDC says the 2025 to 2026 Norstad outbreak count was within the middle range of prior seasons for the same period. Exhale. Ordinary season does not mean harmless. It means the answer is not alarm. The answer is routine, repeated well. The simple script is this: soap first, sanitizer second, sick cooks off duty, contaminated laundry hot, surfaces disinfected with the right product. CDC warns that dehydration can happen with norovirus, especially when vomiting and diarrhea make it hard to replace fluids. This content is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your health routine. For older adults, infants, pregnant people, or anyone with fragile health, consider getting guidance sooner if fluids are not staying down. Make the household rule before anyone is sick. Whoever vomits or has diarrhea does not cook for others for 2 days after it stops. CDC says alcohol-based hand sanitizer can be used in addition to hand washing, but it should not replace soap and water. So keep sanitizer in your bag. Just do not let it talk you out of finding a sink when norovirus is the concern. Notice the pattern. The best tools are not dramatic. They are water, soap, time, heat, separation, and patience. Your protocol can fit on one breath. Wash well, clean first, disinfect second, launder hot, pause cooking, and let people recover. Hob of warnly. If shame shows up, skip it. Illness happens. The win is noticing the route and putting barriers back in place. By the time the kitchen feels normal again, the sanitizer pump may still be there. Useful, yes, but no longer over-trusted. The habit to trust most is not the fastest one. It is the one that actually interrupts the path from hand to surface to food. That is better health faster, fewer fear spirals, more useful routines, and the quiet confidence to handle winter bugs with care.